we had a bit of a party at the Law Society where we were given a practicing certificate
Mhm.
and became members of the Law Society. And then I continued my work at the little firm Breakgate at and I think I was admitted in August of 1970. And then I had a great leap forward in income. I must forget that. First year articles was $7 a week.
Wow.
Second year articles was $15 a week. Day one as a solicitor was $85 a week. To this day,
Wow.
that remains the biggest percentage jump in income I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Uh,
crazy.
so it was probably fortunate because about 2 months before I was admitted in August 1978, I was married on the 4th of July 1970
Wow.
as a 15-year income in children, $15 a week income. So then I was working away, very broad range of practice, but my master solicitor, or John, who had been my master solicitor, was developing quite a reputation in insurance law.
Mhm.
And also I knew that he had a great love for town planning. His real passion in life was not the law, but it was his dad's firm, and I think there was probably some sense of obligation there. His dad was a die-hard member of the Liberal Party, and John was a socialist at Labor Party supporter. So it's always interesting to hear conversation. So it was in the early part of 1971, I think it was in about April, that young John said to me he was retiring partnership. He'd actually decided to make the big leap to go down to Canberra
Mhm.
to work for the National Capital Development Commission. Love. And in a funny sort of way, I thought to myself, well, if he's going to leave, source of my work will be gone, so I better start looking for a job in a new firm. And a couple of weeks later, his dad called me around to his office, Mr. Man's office. He said to me, Michael, he said, I understand my son's leaving the firm. I said, yes, Dad. He said, and I understand you think you must get another job. I said, well, I think that part of the clientele is really his, but I'm just not sure where they will go when he leaves. So Mr. Man said, well, I've spoken to, and he mentioned a couple by name, and I won't. And they said that they're more than happy to leave their work at the firm as long as you are involved in doing it.
Wow.
So my ego went through the ceiling. I don't know whether he was, I suspect he was totally bullshitting me because he didn't want to have to go through the process of hiring somebody else. Well, but boy, did it feel good. And what followed felt even better because he added without any prompting on my part. And I suppose if you're going to take on that responsibility, you will need to be a partner.
Wow.
Mm.
1 year. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
And so I went home and told my wife, who was about to give birth to our first child, which she did on the 3rd of July, after I'd become a partner on the 1st of July.
Wow.
So,
Pretty good
that
weight.
was it. Absolutely. Now, John was
Mm.
also on the Young Lawyers Committee at the Law Society, and they invited me to take his seat. So my career thereafter in what you might loosely refer to as legal politics and related things also got a start from that. So if you go back to what I said a while ago, wasn't it fortunate that I didn't get the job offer until when I did?
Yeah. Yeah. It is incredible sometimes. Those sorts of things work out. You think, and it's just a good lesson to anybody. At the moment, I have a few friends I know myself that might be getting disheartened a little bit. They've had a few knockbacks from a few applications, both within the legal profession and outside the legal profession. But yeah, it is just a good lesson to hear. I mean, I'm not sure how many people are fortunate enough that the job that they do end up getting, then being made a partner within a year of admission. But still, it's a good lesson that where you end up is where you're supposed to end up. Every knockback is for a reason, and just you got to keep pushing forward, trusting in yourself and in what you're doing, and eventually you'll end up where you need to be.
And Peter, I think it underscores the importance of patience
Yeah.
and that your professional career is not the totality of what your life is about.
Yeah.
Because I also learned in the decade of the 70s that one of the things most valuable to me was variety. I needed to do a lot more than simply spend my time working for clients, finding solutions to legal things.
And I think
Mm.
that is, I mean, especially today, there's a big push around having a bit of a work life balance, I guess. And so it's interesting to hear as well. I mean, I'm based in Adelaide, so our perception of Sydney is that in Sydney, if you're a partner in a firm in Sydney, you just work. That's all you do with your life. So it's good, I guess. I mean, I'm quite comfortable here. I don't really have any plans or intentions to move at this point, but it is good to hear that even back then, I'm sure today that it is possible to have that sort of variety and balance in your life. You're not, I think it is very important to not, who you are in your career is obviously important, but it's not the be all and end all of who you are as a person. You want to be Michael Gill, the great man, not just Michael Gill, the great lawyer.
We shan't use the word great henceforth unless it's in relation to you two. But just let me ask you both a question.